Hey guys, me Dave. It's 9:30, 2020. It is Wednesday night. So I just seen a couple videos out there with some TIs. They could be real. I don't know. I think they're putting out misinformation about heterodyning, EEG cloning, and stuff like that. They were stating some facts which are mostly assumptions of what's going on. So I just want to squash their view. I mean, these guys are getting hundreds and hundreds of views. I don't know how they're doing it. I really don't. I'm telling the truth of what's going on and all this stuff. I barely get any views. I don't know, how are these people. I don't promote my page either, but these guys are getting almost 1,000 views. I just, a lot of it isn't correct information. Spreading misinformation. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but they're doing it. So I want to talk about EEG cloning and heterodyning for a minute. Okay, so I watched a video and this person said that they're recording our brain waves, and they're recording the clone member of the hive mind team. Okay, she didn't use those words, but so they're doing the clone, and they're recording his brainwaves, and they're recording my brainwaves, and they're not mine, our brainwaves, and they're mixing the two. Okay, that makes no sense. They're doing it live, you guys. According to Dr. Duncan, they can have 2 to 3 brains hooked up to you. Okay. Any more than that, Dr. Duncan says it's like a office meeting nobody wants to be at. I mean, it gets too schizophrenic. If you have too many people hooked up to you. Okay, so that's misinformation. And then this girl was saying that they're streaming it live on the internet. I'm assuming the dark web, and people are paying to watch you get tortured. I've heard that before. I don't necessarily believe that, and we can't prove that, you guys. There's no evidence of that. We cannot prove that they're live streaming us. That is a total assumption, misinformation. You shouldn't take that information as correct. Okay, so I have a hive mind team. Anywhere from, I don't know, 2 to 3, 4 people on the hive mind team all the time. Okay, they're heterodyning me. Okay, they're doing it live. They're not. Well, I mean, they could be recording the brainwaves as it's happening live. Okay, but this is happening in real time. Okay, so you got the clone member hooked up to you, and like I said, Dr. Duncan says it could be up to 3 people hooked up to you. Okay, at once. All right, so what they're doing is they're keeping track of my brainwaves, and then you got the clone member hooked up to you, and then they are mixing of the brainwaves. They're using his brainwaves to put on yours, which they can control you somewhat. They can somewhat control you. Okay, so if I'm sitting here, normal, just sitting here, they can make my arm go up like that. Okay, that's heterodyning. Okay, if you're driving, they can make you press on the gas if they want to. Okay, that's heterodyning, where the clone member is putting his brainwaves onto yours. And Dr. Duncan says they use brainwaves that are similar to yours when they do this. Okay, that is EEG cloning, heterodyning. Okay, when they're doing it live, and the person's hooked up to you, and they're putting his brainwaves onto yours. They can override and overpower your brainwaves if they want to. They can do it. Okay, like I said, I could be sitting here, and they can make my arm go up like that and back down. Bella, what are you doing? So that's heterodyning. That's really what it is. You can't find that stuff on the internet. I mean, that comes from Dr. Duncan and stuff like that. That type of stuff. Google has a version of heterodyning where they say they take two different streams of energy and they put them together and all this stuff. That's not what this is. Okay, don't Google this stuff and expect to find out what they're doing to you. That it's not on there. Okay, they're not gonna have that on there. So people, there's pretty misinformation because they read it on Google or they, it's just nonsense. So, that's what heterodyning is. Okay, so it's live. You got someone hooked up to you of the High Mind team. And some people say they wear a headset. I don't know how they do it exactly. I don't know how they're connected to you. Like Brian 2 says, there's a virtual, I don't know, what do you want to call it? A virtual program or whatever where they don't, and then some people say they put on a headset and heterodyne you, EEG clone you, and they, can do it that way. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it live, and I mean, I probably have a clone member hooked up to me right now. If they want to make me put my arm up, they can do that. They can jerk my whole body if they want, and that's heterodyning. Okay, where they're putting the clone member brainwaves onto yours live as we speak. Live. Mixing of the brainwaves live. They're not recording our brainwaves and then doing it. That would serve no purpose. Serve no purpose. This is about controlling us, you guys. This is about controlling us. What can we make you do? Okay? And heterodyning is part of that. EEG cloning is part of that. Okay? That's what that is. So there's a lot of, these people are well spoken. They're very intelligent. You can tell they're down to earth and all this stuff. But they are sending out misinformation. And they're getting lots of views. 1,000 views, 1,200 views, and all this stuff. I guess they sound more credible than I do or something. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I don't promote my channel or anything like that, but I don't know how, people are listening to these people and it's misinformation. Okay. I've heard other targets talk about, they got us on the dark web and they're watching us and they're live streaming this and people are paying to see us get tortured and heterodyne and all. I don't believe any of that. You got proof of that. You have to have proof. Got to have proof of this stuff. You can't just sit there and say they're doing all this stuff to us with no proof. Where is the proof of that? Okay. They want to say we're being sex trafficked. If you tell somebody that, you're going to sound nuts, okay? They're going to be like, well, how were you... Wait, if you went to the police and said, I'm being sex trafficked, they'd be like, okay, what's going on? Where are they taking you? Where are you? They put you on the street? Are you walking the streets and having sex with people? Or, or what? These people want to use every angle and they want to turn it into targeted individual stuff, and they got to stop doing that. Stop using, stop using all these, all the stuff that has to do with people that are really being sex trafficked, and stuff. They're not taking us anywhere, okay? They're not physically taking us anywhere. They're not doing anything to us physically, okay? It's all remote. It's invisible. We can't prove it. We can't go to somebody and say, well, I'm being sex trafficked. They force masturbation for targets and they sexually assault us, okay? But if you tell somebody that, you're going to look loony as can be, okay? That's why they do it, So we got to get off this stuff, okay? We need to talk about the facts. If we want people to find us credible and, if we want people to find us credible, and want them to believe us, we got to talk about the facts. What we can prove. Use the patents with remote neural monitoring, remote neural manipulation, voice to skull. I don't know if there's a patent for voice to skull, but we got to use things in our favor. We can't be out there in left field and talk about all this nonsense. It's not helping our cause. People are out there, I don't know if they're real or not, but they're making us look really silly. I don't know how else to say it. These people are, they're making us look very silly, and they're discrediting us, whether they mean to or not, and stuff. They don't know what they're talking about. Nobody, a lot of people out there are making videos, and they can use big words that you don't know what they mean. I can use a big word, and, half of you people don't know what it means. I'm not saying I'm not saying that for me. I'm saying other targets out there do that. They're smart, intelligent people, but they're making no sense. They're like flying by this. They're faking it. They're faking it because they don't know what's going on. So they're faking their way through their videos in information. They're faking it. There's a lot of people out there full of BS. They're very smart, but they're faking their way through this. They don't know half what's going on. I'm not saying I know everything. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. I'm trying to learn as I go, but I try to talk about stuff that is believable and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, so that's that information. I don't. There's a lot of misinformation out there, you guys. I'm trying to warn you guys. I'm getting no views. I'm not promoting my page. How are some of these people getting 1,000 views full of misinformation? They sound credible. They sound down to earth, very, very well spoken and intelligent and stuff, and they're very believable. But do your research on all this stuff, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, you guys. Bella. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this off, and I'll talk to you guys later.